Hi, this is Nev again. This is the second video on Premiere, and here we'll do some nasty things to that short video of me. Students love doing horrible things. We'll do some resizing and then publishing to different resolutions. So let's go. What we had done here, we had faded our opacity and faded our volume. When we get to the end of this short video, we've got black. So we will need to bring up the opacity of our wildlife video again just to finish off. But just to show you what horrible things you can do, I could grab another video of myself, throw it here. I don't want that soundtrack there. I want that soundtrack down there. Whoa, I've cut. We've got a problem. Let's do that again. I'll put the video out here where I'm not going to wipe anything. Get the soundtrack down here, and let me just, that's better. Now these red arrows allow us to trim our video in or out. I could make a very short little tail bit there. I could copy that, copy and paste. Oh, it's pasted in the wrong place. Control Z. I'll paste it over here if I can. Get my timeline over here. Paste, yes. Bring that back. Whoa, Control Z. I better do it like I did it before. Control Z and paste it out here. Control V. Shift that down there and bring that to there. I'll paste again. Shift that down there. Move that back here. And one more. Control V. And throw that down there. Okay, you'll notice that the volume level on these is lower. I can bump it up down here. I don't think you can do it down here on Premiere 2014. In fact, that's a little higher than the volume here. I'll whack that up too. All right, let's see how horrible this looks. This is how we're going to do a sample of video editing. Right. So, yes, going to sleep a bit there. So we've finished that there. It's about time to bring our wildlife back in, and I think we'll finish that off. But what we might do with our wildlife, let's do the wildlife first. Double click, effects, opacity, opacity keyframe, go a little past the end there. Again, another keyframe, and let's bump up the opacity back to 100%. Okay, tab. So now we've got our seagulls. Now what we might do is zero in on his nose. Will be our next little project. Okay, but we'll also change the sound. So if you're getting sick of the volume, now we've still got our volume of the soundtrack of the wildlife video is low. Let's go to this kalimba track here and I'll open it up. You'll notice when it opens up there are two tracks here. You can make this into mono if you wish. Now let's double click here. Let's go to effects and volume. Yeah, volume there is already open. Save the project, it's done it automatically. Yeah, file, save, Control S is the normal, just saves the edit file. We're not ready to publish yet. Okay, I'm going to throw in another keyframe, and we can throw in keyframes on this Visual Studio, this Premiere I'm using. I can throw in keyframes from down here. All right, let's go a little past the end of that video, another keyframe, and we'll run this. What was the volume before? Well, we don't know. Let's just whack it up. I'll whack it up down here. That's flat out. I'll bring it down just a little bit to there. Right, so let's just see what the last little bit's like. Right, I'm hitting the space key to start and stop. Right, so now what I'd like to do is zoom in on our, what is he, a badger? He's not a badger, I don't know what he is. Okay, so let's go to effects, and we can go to motion now. In motion we can adjust the position and the scale. I'm going to look at the scale, and again I'm going to throw in a keyframe. So I think I have to open it up here, put in a keyframe, it's already there, and let's go and make it 200. No, sorry, let's not change it yet. Escape. Let's put in another keyframe. We'll go a little further along. And what I might do is expand my timeline here so that I've got a bit more of an idea of how long I've got. Right, he's having a bit of a chomp, and I've got till I get over here or so. So about here, we'll throw in another keyframe, and we will go up to 200. Tab. And that's not quite the right position. So now I need to go up here to position, and I need to muck around with these numbers, and I can never remember whether to go bigger or smaller. I might just try 500. Tab. And that, well, it takes, that's probably okay. Let's go 500 here too. So we're going up, and that is the right way. So let's go a little more, 600. Tab. And let's just see what that looks like. So we're going to go, oh, it's jumped up to 200. Oh, we've muffed that up. Control Z, 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 Z. Right. Must have lost the original keyframe. So let's go back. So we're now, yeah, he comes up to there. Then he's going to stop there reasonably stationary. So we want keyframe there. And then we'll go along a little further. And this will be the point where he's moving in. So then another keyframe there. And it was in that time that we should have zoomed. 200. So tab. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, so there's our zoom there. Alright. Now on that second keyframe, which is pretty well right there, we want to adjust these. These were both 500, 500, tab, 600, tab. And there we are, pretty well on his nose. And oh. Anyway, I'm not going to muck around. You can muck around more with that later on. We're going to have to pay attention to the black enveloping we got around the outside there. Let's just have a look at it. Yeah. So that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? All right. Still. Ah, I didn't. Must have keyframed the whole thing. Hang on. Let's go back to here. That keyframe. Right. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Oh no. Control Y is to go back. Control Y. Control Y. No, we won't. We can't go back. Anyway, you've probably got the idea. That's enough of mucking around with that, but you can zoom in and scale and position. Alright, so we'll run that through to the end. I think now we should do publishing. So let's do File, Export Media. We've got lots of different formats that we can export in. Personally, I like to export just about everything, to H.264, to an MP4 format. Seems to be the most universal format that is around. Now let's just have a look at what we've got as our source sequence. It's 1280 by 720. Note that our output is exactly the same, 1280 by 720, same frame speed, and looking identical. So that's actually quite okay. Now, what we need to check is just what we're going to output it as and where we're going to output it. So I'm going to output to documents, IPT. This is the same folder where I've got everything. Video intro, and I'll throw this in here. We're going to call this edit 1. Right, save. Now, if you're let's export, it takes a little while. If you're publishing for the web, really at this stage, you want to publish several different resolutions. Your web, if you've got to download a huge file, this one is a huge file, HD, as you can see, 1280 by 720. On the web, you'll probably only need a fraction of that size. So if we cut that right down, it'll reduce the download time. So this is not going to take too long. I will do another one straight away in a low resolution, just so that you've got the idea. Okay, so let's file, export again. Control M would have been the shortcut. It's remembered our format here. What I want to do is still MP4, but let's just do it as a 320 by 240, and we'll keep our frame rate the same. It's 29.97. Okay, and again we'll call it edit 02, and what I could do is write 02, and this is 320 by what was it, 240. Okay, save, export, and here we go. Let's have a look now in our folder and see how big the files are. We've got here but where's the original? Where's it gone? Why isn't it there? Why isn't our first one there? Video intro. Oh, it's probably in here. All right. It's produced an M4V. That's unusual. Oh, that's edit 2. It's just compiling. Here's our first one, and it's 9 megabytes. Here's our second one, and it's only 1.5 megabytes. So you can see the huge file size difference as you reduce your file size. Let's just run that one and have a quick look at it. It's pretty small. Let's run this one, and it'll be much bigger. Let's go. Hopefully it's going to run with all of this going. It's taking its time. Anyway, I will leave that to you. If it does come up, you'll see the window is much bigger and you'll see the larger resolution. And of course it's not going to happen. I will pause this now, and that's enough for you today. Yeah, it's protesting.